we really leading sports with this? Are we really leading sports with a foul?
Here's ESPN, this is just so pathetic. Here's ESPN analyst, I suppose, Monica McNutt, I like that name, on Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is just the worst woke pandering, ridiculous thing at this point on The Daily Show that he only hosts once a week. And just listen to his analysis. We just showed you the video of her just getting mauled out of nowhere. Could have ended everything for the WNBA. Watch this analysis.
Tell us a little bit about that viral moment.
All right, so the conversation, John, it started about this foul over the weekend that Kennedy Carter for the Chicago Sky fouled Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever. And I'm not going to lie to you, John, if I take you through my day that morning, I get the call or the text rather, and I'm like, are we really leading sports with this? Are we really leading sports with a foul?
A person got knocked over in a basketball game.
In sports. All right, I'm like, fine, let's just do it. So we have the conversation with colleagues and friends, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and my larger point in the conversation was the tenor and the prevailing narrative that has been created around this season's WNBA play is that it's the league versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to the next level. And so, by the end of the show, John, the tone had changed, and I just kind of needed to put my foot down a little bit.
There was some defensiveness on the part of the individuals. You've covered basketball for many, many years. You played basketball.
I did.
You follow the NBA for many years. You know what you're talking about. The tenor of the conversation, as I could tell, was they were saying to you, no, we know what we're talking about, even though we just tuned into this whole thing last Wednesday.
And there it is, right? And so, as I have said about this, it was a little bit of a challenge, right, to gentlemen that I admire in terms of what they've built. Because if you haven't been here, I need 3 years. I need you to kind of have jumped in when Sedona Prince went viral for calling out the NCAA. I need you kind of to be here as this league has seen its best viewership year to year. Now, yes, it has absolutely been taken over the top this year, but this has been a snowballing effect to get to this moment. And so, while Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA, there are women that were worthy of coverage prior to her arriving, and I just will not be silenced when it comes to that.
Right.
God, that is such a sack of virtue signaling, woe is me shit. Yet no one's denying there were good players over the year. There was a woman back in around 1995. Maybe we could grab a 10-second clip of her. Her name was Cynthia Cooper. I watched a couple games. She was on the Houston Comets. She was pretty damn good, right? Like, no one's denying that. But now there's something magical happening, and you're all throwing her under the bus. And Jon Stewart, I don't know how he became just so absolutely awful. Hey, don't click away just yet, because today's video is brought to you by our friends at 1775 Coffee. Guys, instead of waking up tomorrow morning and drinking your mold-infested, big corporation-owned, woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with, try Rumble's 1775 Coffee, support freedom of speech, and build a parallel economy that actually values you. Go to 1775 Coffee right now and pick up your first bag. Use code Rubin to save 10% off your first order.